Hello, everyone. Semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. Normally, I'm out walking. I'm still under the weather. I am getting better. Thank you for asking, those of you that have sent me messages. But I didn't feel like getting outside and walking today was was such a good idea. Just a couple of quick topics today. First off, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. Help me get the word out that it's never too late to change your life. I'm 60 years old. I'm doing things that I haven't been able to do since I was 40, like getting out and walking every day, except recently while I was sick. So why don't you go ahead and hit that thumbs up, drop down in the comments and say, "Hi, Bob." If you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Thank you for helping me out. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. I'm glad you're here as well. It means a lot to me that you spend just a few moments of your day with me. Just very briefly, I want to talk about a couple of quick things. When you're sick, like I have been for the last 3 or 4 days, because as our parents told us, if you're my age, I'm sure you've heard the term, a cold will last 7 days if you treat it, and a week if you don't. And that seems to be what's going on here. I'm definitely getting, after the first 2 days of getting worse, I am now slowly getting better. I guess there's some kind of cold going around. I don't know how exactly I got exposed to it, but here we are. Yeah, my first advice, if you're fighting off a cold like this, just like with healing any of the other things that are wrong with us, the first primary healing mechanism is your body. So don't interfere with that. If you don't feel hungry, don't eat. Because as I understand it, your immune system is involved with digestion. So if your body's trying to fight something off and you're eating, your immune system has to split its concentration. But if you are going to eat, then by all means, make sure that it's good, solid carnivore food, preferably a big slab of beef with its associated fat, or ground beef, or eggs, or any of the good stuff that we talk about on a regular basis. Don't fall into the trap of, oh, I feel so terrible today, so rather than cooking anything, I think I'll order pizza. That pizza is not going to do anything to make you feel better. It might psychologically make you feel better for a few minutes while you're eating it, but it's going to do nothing for your health. So just keep that in mind. And the other quick topic I wanted to talk about today is, remember that the scale is not your friend. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're one of these numbers people that really enjoys tracking every day to see what the scale is doing, as long as you're looking at the overall trend lines, I don't think it's going to hurt you. But you have to understand that the body can fluctuate a lot from day to day. For most people, jumping on the scale every day is going to be counterproductive, because you're going to look at it and go, oh, I hardly ate anything yesterday and I didn't lose any weight, so I guess I have to eat less today, or cut out that little piece of cheese, or maybe only have 2 eggs instead of 4 eggs, or whatever. Remember that the scale isn't really your friend. That's why I suggest taking measurements, or just going by how your clothes fit. If after 30, 60 days they feel like they're looser, you're making progress. But just don't fall into the trap of jumping on the scale every day to see if you've lost weight the day before, because that's not a very good judge of how well you're doing. There are a lot of things involved in it, and the force that you exert on the scale through gravity has very little meaning. If you're doing an exercise program that builds muscle, or you're early in your journey, you could also be doing some healing. If your bones were a little on the weak side and now they're getting stronger, that's going to make the weight on the scale go up. If you had some damaged connective tissue or they weren't quite strong enough, cartilage, things like that, that's also heavier. It's going to go up. If you're adding muscle, the weight on the scale might actually go up a little bit. You cannot really rely on the scale to tell you how you're doing. Again, if you're a numbers person and you like to track daily, but you understand that you need to look at the overall trend rather than, because you're going to have the up and down and up and down and up and down. You want to look for the overall trend. You want to look for the overall trend of what the scale is showing you. And, it depends on, again, where you're at on your journey. If I hate to keep using this example, but she's one of the best examples I can think of this. Look at Kelly Hogan. She spent the first 6 months of her journey putting on weight. What would have happened to her? Look where she is today. Look what would have happened to her if 5 months, 5.5 months into it, she said, well, this isn't working. I'm going to go on to the next thing. But because she felt better, even though the scale wasn't moving or it was moving in the wrong direction, she continued to push forward. And now look at her today. I mean, there's no question she's in fantastic shape. So if you're a numbers person and you like tracking things like that, I think it's perfectly okay, but you have to understand what all goes into the scale as a whole. You can't just look at the scale number and say, oh, I'm a failure. I didn't lose weight yesterday, or I didn't lose weight this week. No, you have to realize what the entire thing is showing you. That's what I've got for you today, folks. I know this wasn't much of a video. I'm hoping to be back out walking tomorrow. I hope I feel well enough. I have to make that decision because I have dance class tomorrow, and I need to make the decision if I think I'm still capable of passing the virus on to somebody. If I am, I won't go to dance class because the last thing I would want to do is give this to somebody else, but especially someone like my dance teacher who makes her living by being around kids all day, every day. The worst thing that I could do is pass a virus on to her that might knock her down for 3 or 4 days. That would be a bad move on my part. So I'll have to make that decision tomorrow morning when I wake up. But I'm hoping to at least get out and get some walking in tomorrow. But that's what I've got for you today, folks. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better. Today, tomorrow, every day. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you in the next one.